Hello again, my fellow Guardians. There you go. To make sure that you hear the video game, of course, besides my voice. And welcome back to another episode of Destiny Rising. Right here, right now. And after some time of continuously grinding, even after we completed the main storyline, we're still here, of course, completing more quests, completing more activities to make sure our power is prepared for the future of the game. And as I mentioned before, earlier today, on the episode of Thursday Star War today, hopefully you guys have seen it. But if not, just in case, today's Destiny Rising episode will mainly be lore. Because I did say many episodes ago on this game that we were going to do an episode consisted, I mean, of going over the diaries of the characters we've unlocked, of the characters we have used and played with as we went on this journey of a great story. Wolf, as I've seen, and I presume as we've all seen sometimes, but it's the case, I will show as well. For some reason, he has nothing, which is not making sense, but it was Nettie's idea of, I guess, to not have the wolf, the main character that we have originally chosen as for the storyline. So I'm like, okay, whatever. But besides that, we're just gonna continuously. Sorry. Read the story of the characters we know so far. Evergwen, we're starting with her because for one, we've completed a side quest already. Number two, she is amazing. She is powerful. And number three, even her side quests is probably one of the best side quests so far. Now, side quests may not be the greatest in some games. This one can have its side effects. But let's just say the ending of a side quest was something I did not expect. For those of you that don't know, I highly recommend watching the video mentioning that. I believe it's said about the stories of the Guardians, I think. Otherwise, you can go to the playlist, skim through it, and you will see it. Because, oh man, it was good. Either way, let's jump into it. Miss Peacemaker. And I'm gonna go ahead and have my mic with the hand of mine close to it, so that way it is not going slowly away from me. So, Miss Peacemaker is exceptionally persistent in her ideals, but not out of naivety. Naivety. That's a new word. She's seen those roots and the evil they spread. She holds fast to her conviction regardless, believing that kind deeds will be reciprocated. Unfortunately, all her attempts so far have been in vain. In this era of turbulence, death is the sinner's only penance. Though Otaro believes in humanity's capacity for good, what she gets is typically disappointment. Once we met two vagabonds who asked us for food. Otaro just opened her backpack to share her reserves with them. No questions asked, completely ignoring the fact that they were in nowhere near as dire of straits as they claimed. They were both fit and armed, judging by the protrusions of weapons at their hips. Even if they didn't have bad intentions, they were fully capable of finding our supplies. So Crowther and I scanned them away. After that, Atal still insisted that her kindness would inspire them to pass it on. I often butt heads with Atal when it comes to dealing with strangers, and our differing attitudes toward the enemy have even divided us. One instance I'll never forget was when I passed judgment on Warlord Ramsay. At that time, Atal insisted on believing Ramsay's empty promises, and thus I decided to take him out before he could take advantage of the trust. Of course, that cunning warlord had already set his traps. Just like Walter, he thought torture could force me into submission. But before Crowther could execute his resurrection plan, Atal broke into the dungeon he trapped me in. After seeing the predicament at hand, she finally understood, albeit with disappointment, that Ramsay had told her nothing but lies. Her disappointment ignited flames of anger, driving her to temporarily forsake her pursuit of kindness. After eliminating the pursuing guards, she burned down Ramsay's base without hesitation. Oh. Oh! Interesting. In that incident, I saw a part of myself in her, a part that didn't belong to Otawa at all. Perhaps I shouldn't be too harsh on her ideas of peace. After all, such a belief is rather rare in this day and age. I shall keep observing each and every one of Miss Peacemaker's attempts. Hmm. Meaning Atal. Atal, being the steadfast pacifist she is, often wants me to exact justice in a more friendly way. However, on the day I met her, I became even more convinced that death is the only punishment befitting the evil, for they show no mercy to the innocent. That day, Atal unintentionally got involved in my conflict with Wyther. His soldiers had cornered me into a building, and though I had been shot, I told Crota to hide and watch for the chance to repeat our previous tactic. Then Atal suddenly appeared out of nowhere and started to trim a wound, all while shouting at Wyther's soldiers aside, urging them to put down their guns and negotiate. I guess they were as confused about the suggestion as I was. After a short silence, though, the whole building came under even fiercer fire. The rain of bullets ripped through everything, sending wood splinters and cement shards flying over the room. Amongst the chaos, I noticed blue arc energy coming from Atal, who had realized that her attempt at peace talks had failed. What happened next was a complete deviation from my original plan, with Atal covering my attack using arc energy. But as my last foe fell to the ground, I finally lost consciousness. It wasn't Atal who woke me up, but the continuous clamor of explosions. I saw her staring at the flames outside, terrified. Meanwhile, Crowther was complaining to me about being forced to watch Atal patching me up. White soldiers were behind the blasts. They tracked us to the village Atal had hid us in. They tracked us to the village Atal had hid us in and bombarded it. All I could do then was keep Atal safe. I dragged her into the woods while she kept weeping. Only when sounds of explosions quieted did the sob cease. That night was the first time I saw Atal abandon her innocent hopes, if only for a while. As for Wyther, he couldn't escape my vengeance, though said vengeance would be exacted with Atal's fighting at my side. Oh wow, that's sad. Oh man. Hey, this scythe was originally a gift from a German monastery. Oh, it holds little historical value as far as antiques go, but it is clearly a work of Golden Age craftsmanship. It was forged with a special metal and resonates with the wield's light. Interesting. Once it is fully unfolded, its blade glows with lilac fluorescence. The village this Scythe once called home was suffering a fallen invasion at the time. Those four-armed creatures, just like the bloodthirsty warlords, knew nothing of mercy. After Atal's attempts at peaceful negotiation resulted only in some sort of insect-like noises, resembling mocking laughter, I politely responded with my axe and shotgun. After a whole day of fighting, a friar of the village monastery gave me the title of Dai Sensen Fa'u and insisted I take this black scythe. After that, I made a few upgrades to the weapon using a special material from a laboratory on Venus. Oh, Venus? If we go to Venus, that'll be epic. Then I bought off a black market merchant. According to the merchant, it's just a common chunk of metal in the hands of the most, but when influenced by light, it can create a singularity capable of twisting gravity itself. At first, I didn't want to spend all my glimmer on such an absurd sounding material. But then the merchant targeted Atal's mint, planning to take the handicraft she'd spent so much effort making. In the end, I was a proud owner of a chunk of outlandish metal. I shaped it into a sphere and inlaid it on my scythe's blade, although I had initially intended to make an hourglass out of it. To my surprise, the merchant had returned truth. My scythe became one worthy of a true leaper, with the light and gravity both sapping centers its vitality once the verdict is issued. Atal and Crotha, however, are less interested in its energy-gathering capabilities than they are the gravity twist side effect. A small wormhole generated not far away. Snowy Mountain Journey 1 Night. The wind of the mountains finally died down somewhat once the night fell. Like maidens hidden in plaster statues, fatal dangers lurk beneath its serene appearance. Only once they trap you do you realize it's too late to escape. The frigid winds are but one of many threats. As we approached the summit, it became harder to breathe. The cold had rendered me numb to all sensation. I hadn't even noticed the blood dripping from my nose to the ground until I saw Atal's wide, horrified eyes staring at me. Atal's excitement and confidence dissipated when he began our climb. We, I mean. Though she had previously sworn to reach the peak, her focus is now entirely on curling up to keep warm. Crowther was sensible enough to keep his voice down for a change, and only an hour into our journey he stopped chiming in with his opinions altogether. Of course, that may be because I warned him that loud noises would cause an avalanche. I read up on some local folklore before setting off. Allegedly, evil spirits were once sealed away in the mountains. Being exposed up there did make me feel uneasy, but I could probably chalk that up to altitude sickness. The towering, snowy peak in the distance stares down invaders like a giant. We saw no traces of human dwellings, but a vague silhouette of a signal tower hidden in the clouds seemed to be looming on the mountainside. A warlord's fortress, perhaps. Traversing this place alone would undoubtedly be faster, for I have no problem welcoming death's cold embrace, even if said death would be cold in a literal sense. In any case, Crowther would wake me up from my short break and push me to keep going. But when accompanied by a Tao who rejects that icy temptation, we must consider the risk of hypothermia. For tonight, we found a spot to camp behind the giant boulder. Hopefully, we'll cross the next ridge tomorrow. Memories before sleep. I've read that hypnotic jerks are the feeling of falling as one begins to fall asleep, but the spasms I feel are different, created instead by dreams about my own past deaths. Thanks to that dead, good-for-nothing water, I've experienced nearly all ways to meet death. Many years have passed, yet I feel those memories as vividly as ever, like the phantom pain after losing a limb. I remember the air in my lungs getting thinner, the hopeless suffocation that deep breaths wouldn't help, and the strange peace that followed. I remember the rope tied around my neck, the metallic taste of blood rushing into my mouth, then the heat flooding back in my lungs. Remember the unnatural feeling of pain giving way to numbness as my fingers were pierced by nails. Oh boy. These and so many others. Burns, bullet wounds, slashed tendons, were all gifts from water. In his attempts to force me into submission, he killed me 26 times in a day. Jeez. Jeez. 26 times I embraced death, yet not once did I get to enjoy that eternal peace. But now it is all over, and he has his paid in price. I smashed his ghost to ensure he would stay asleep. It would be rude to wake him, after all. As for the memories, they may still awaken my instinctive reactions, but I feel as if I'm watching movies starring myself. The villain is dead, but the story isn't over. The tyrants and criminals that still walk among the living will pay for their sins. None shall escape eternal slumber. Snowy Mountain Journey to Snowfield. Oh, man. The seemingly boundless mountain has bounds after all. Sorry. After more than a month of trekking, we have finally glimpsed the world beyond. We still have a few ridges blocking our path, but now we know that a massive snow field awaits us on the other side. I could also make out the large, square silhouette of a walled city on the horizon. I was more interested in that thing I thought was a signal tower, though. That blurred dark line in the clouds had finally shown its complete form. Oh, now I could see it was a tall column structure fixed to a giant pedestal, reaching high into the sky. Kota said it was a space elevator. We hadn't seen such methods of traveling to space up until now. Uh, Having only passed by some rusty ruins of what used to be launch pads. The launch pads had complicated steel structures, but they felt much less mysterious than this building up ahead, reaching far beyond our sight to link with some fulcrum in space. Speaking of space, I'm curious as to what it's like. If there's only a cold nothingness up there, what makes it any different from death? Death's shadow. I met Death many times while I was tortured and imprisoned by water. Strangely, he would appear before me not as I died, but when I would take my last breath, he appeared in a black robe every time, though blurred and it, oh, though blurred and ethereal like a mist. I could always recognize him. His form and voice varied. Sometimes that of an elder, sometimes that of a woman, and other times indistinguishable, but always hoarse and relentless, like a cold breeze wafting out from an empty crypt. But I knew it was him, the Grim Reaper, the scythe-wielding skeleton, the black angel that whisks away souls. Books describe many different identities, all of which are him. He would always quietly arrive in a blink, looking down at me as I lay dying on the ground. In the beginning, I thought he would take me with him, that he would free me from Walter's imprisonment, but he just looked at me quietly until I fell into a deep, deep slumber. The next time, I begged him to bring me along, yet he always answered with just a single word, sometimes wait, other times patience. The voice was prolonged, as if time had stopped flowing. It carved itself into my mind and even figured it in my dreams. I began to follow his advice and endured Walter's torment. Gradually, my fear of pain and death disappeared without a trace. Every death was a rebirth, a chance to be free until my verdict arrived. After executing Walter, I donned the black robe in his image and began wandering the world. Evildoers feared me, and those I rescued called me by his name. There are many more awaiting him, many more awaiting his sentence. Thus I shall keep upholding relentless justice until he finally takes me away with him. Sights from Europe. Bullet Hole Monument. Hmm. All that's left of the Golden Age are bones. There are bones, in the literal sense, of course. Human bones scattered in the wild, some still sitting in the husks of vehicles, long past needing a proper burial. Then there are the ruins covered in weeds, the skeletons of long abandoned buildings. No matter how glorious the past was, now there were crumbling walls. Be it skeletons of rubble, both are commemorations of bygone days. And among them rest some man-made objects with more unique looks. Though built to withstand the test of time, they lack any practical usages beyond remembering the past. The continent of Europe is filled with such things, monuments of various shapes and sizes. One of them looked relatively plain, yet still left quite the impression. It's composed of two upright slabs with roughly cut concave edges facing each other, looking as if a giant bullet had pierced through them. No doubt, erected in memory of a major pre-Golden Age war. Ironically, that war brought only fleeting respite to the majority of humankind. The flames of war will be fanned again soon after. Then came a renewed peace and new monuments. On and on, the cycle would continue. Mary Cemetery. I once read a story about this place, introducing its navy tones, the pointed roofs adorning all the tombstones, and the colored illustrations those roofs shelter, which tell stories about the permanent residents resting below. Most of the illustrations are portraits, but some are snapshots providing a look into the deceased's life. A young man driving a combine, a man playing the violin with a friend, an old lady in a black hood reading at a desk. All of these illustrations line the gloom of the cemetery, hence the locals calling it the Merry Cemetery. When we actually set foot here, though, we found that most of the graves had fallen into disrepair. They were faded, damaged, even covered in thick blankets of dust. But Atal still checked the pictures on every tombstone with excitement. Our hands were positively filthy by the end. We also found several new tombstones. The paint was more vivid, and though the decorations on them were humble imitations of the older graves, they still featured illustrations celebrating the lives of the deceased. In one of them, a warrior was celebrating victory over the fallen. Before departing, we left 2 bullets in each of the new graves. Maybe one day this place can regain the cheery look I saw in the books. Mountain Cemetery. Located in Eastern Europe, this cemetery contained all the elements one would expect of such a place. Dead trees, crawling vines, damp soil, and moss-covered headstones. The only difference was the density of graves within. The tombstones stuck out from the soft soil with no sense of organization, and some had almost completely sunken into the earth. In addition to the grassland dotted with countless graves, there were a couple of hills overflowing with stacked tombstones. Before the collapse, this cemetery had served as a final resting place for centuries of residents. Local tradition, local tradition dictated that tombstones not to be moved, and thus, over time, they became more and more crowded. These hills weren't natural, rather they were formed by new gravestones being placed and crowding the old ones before the cemetery expanded. And around the cemetery, we can see a huddle of ruins, indicating that this was once a central part of the town. The living and dead crowded together, blurring the boundary between this world and the afterlife. The Judged. Oh boy. Alright. Mors omnia iudicat et nemini indulget. The following is a record of the sinners sentenced to death. Walter, enslaved and tortured others, hanged. Aneurin, threatened people and massacred the innocent, died in a duel. Tegan, controlled people using medicines, abused and massacred people, hanged. Malabade, massacred and enslaved people, sold supplies, hanged. Wyther, slaughter and destruction of a village, responsible for the massacre and Dinant, beheaded. Of Hevox, massacred the innocent, died in a duel. Freak 4, enslaved and tortured others, beheaded. Ingrid, burned down a village. Enslaved people, bloodthirsty, perished in flames. Egon 10, enslaved people and to join his legion invaded to take more slaves, beheaded. Dimitri, enslaved people, bloodthirsty, died in a duel. Void 6, committed massacres and threatened people by crippling them, beheaded. And finally, Ramsay, conducted human experiments, torture, and enslavement, perished in flames. Oh. And finally, 30 facts about Gwen. This is Gwen's top agent, the Herald of Death, the one and only Crowther. If you're reading this, you must be a real fan of Gwen. Yes. You're likely wondering, why are you recording all this? Well, the reason is simple enough. Because Gwen's the absolute best. Her name alone strikes fear into the hearts of sinners. Naturally, I need to spread the word about her. So here's the facts about Gwen. Fact 1. Death never refuses anyone. Unless that person is Gwen. Fact 2. Gwen never goes hunting, because hunting implies a possibility of failure. She just kills. Okay, that's funny. Fact 3. Gwen doesn't teleport. The space just moves to where she wants to be. That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. Just saying the space just moves to where she wants to be, and then before saying Gwen doesn't teleport. That's funny. That is funny. Fact 4. Gwen's tears can heal the traveler. Unfortunately, she never cries. Okay. Fact 5. Gwen once got hit by a servitor. It exploded after 10 minutes of unbearable pain. Okay, that's funny. Gwen's primary exploit is death. No duh. Gwen, for fact 7, once killed 9 enemies with a single pencil. Probably humans. Which would make sense. If it was a if it was a fallen, that would be hilarious. Because some fallen have masks on, and they're kind of, I guess, well, besides the eyes, which to be fair. Fact 8. When Baba when Baba Yaga goes to sleep during the day, she checks the closet for Gwen. Baba Yaga? Baby Yoda? Baba Yaga? Oh my god, that's hilarious. Fact 9. Gwen doesn't need to aim when she shoots. Her bullets fly right to her enemies. Oh my gosh. Fact 10. Gwen has 2 speeds. Walk and uphold judgment. Yes. Fact 11. Gwen can do the splits across 2 spinning sparrows. Okay. Fact 12. Gwen can kill 2 stones with 1 bird. What? What? Kill 2 stones with 1. No. No. That's evil. No. How would a bird be killing 2 stones? The birds have soft fur and a very fragile skeleton. The bird would die on the first stone. Stone's a stone. There's something. Gosh darn it, Crowther, you sick little ghost. Oh my god, that's sad. That is sad. If it was to say kill 2 birds with 1 stone, that makes sense, but no, it's the unexpected. 2 stones with 1 bird. How would a bird kill 2 stones if the stones would just kill the bird by the first one? Fact 3. 13. Gwen can rise into the sky by spinning a scythe like a helicopter. Yep. P.S. There are many, many more facts about Gwen. I will reveal more as our follower count increases. Alright, that was the first one done. How convenient. So that's one story done. Now let's see. What count finale is done? I believe, right? Well, not really. Halfway. Halfway. Now Omegus. So, we did with this one before. But for this one, I'll skim through it, just so you guys can read it, just in case. And now on to relic modification request. This application for modifications to Emeku's relic Ayakiba is being submitted in response to a relatively weak performance in the cooperative combat capabilities portion of her Enforcer exam. Modifications Expectation 1. The modifications should be capable of supporting teammates in cooperative combat, enabling her to quickly gain their trust and reduce the difficulty of missions. 2. The modification cannot be overly conspicuous to the point of making others realize the relic has been altered. 3. Visual effects must match Omega's combat style to avoid raising suspicion. Modification Proposal. I propose a multi-person healing module be added to Ayakiba. Such a module can meet all three of the aforementioned expectations while also keeping Omega herself safer. Such a module can be used in multi-person, cooperative combat, as well as solo combat. Applicant Kara. Status approved. Note: after careful discussion, we have decided to adopt the proposal to add a multi-person healing module to Ayakiba. Given the relic's current performance, we recommend Omeku activate it while in voice step. Thank you, says Omeku. New Year's present shopping list. Yeah. Alright. Oh, 1 second. Alright. So here we go. Classic Poetry Anthology 3. Blank book with stick-on book cover 1. Whitebeard's room is filled with poetry collections, so he must like them. But how exactly does he read physical books? I'll find a blank book and stick a poetry anthology cover on it. We'll see if Whitebeard finds out. Ghost Figurine 1. I don't know why Moshui is so crazy about ghost figurines, but I respect it. I do find them very cute, but I'm not nearly at his level of obsession. Sparkly trinkets 4 to 5. Cocoa loves this kind of stuff. I'll buy whatever trinkets I see that catch the light. I need to remember what I've given her previously though. Can't buy any repeats. Agreed. Signboard 1. Nothing could be more appropriate for Sagittarius, our resident copy machine. Soft, thick hat. 1. Suitsy really likes resting on the librarian's head. Maybe she'd be comfortable on something like this. Try to find a hat that's concave on top. Goat shells 12. Jeez. Can't buy any repeats. Once I find a suitable style, I need to get their names engraved on them. As for Wheat, I have no idea what I should give him. The thing he wants most is to find his own library. Maybe I should go to a shrine and get him an En Musubi Omamori for good luck. I'll look around. If that's a no-go, then I'll just take the lazy way out. The Whisperers. Tomorrow, I will swear my oath before the ghosts and become a member of the Whisperers. I can't say for certain whether this is the only correct path, but it's clearly far better than the other choices before me. At the very least, Kara, my closest and only companion, chose them long ago. We've never diverged on values, and that isn't bound to change. Perhaps I was destined to walk this path from the moment Kara resurrected me. All my prior attempts at living a peaceful life ended in failure, whether it was finding a village and settling down, or building a sanctuary with my own two hands, or joining up with some warlord. Invasions and murder are like maggots on decaying corpses, crawling all over this fetid world, and I'm powerless to stop them. Carla has never discouraged me, nor has she ever laughed at my failures. She just stays by my side, always calm and composed. She's rarely expressed her own thoughts on matters, and I always thought that was simply her personality. But when reality proved to me that the life I wanted would never be attained through my efforts alone, I realized the neutral silence she'd maintained was meant to avoid influencing me too much. All I want is a quiet life, free of disturbances, a simple wish, really. But attaining it feels far more difficult than becoming a tyrant, something that should be out of reach. Truth be told, I find those reckless warlords more despicable than the aliens. Clearly, they could use the light's gift to make the world a better place, yet their lust for power reduced them to accomplices for evil. When all my attempts had ended in failure, Kara offered me what is, at present, the best answer: the Whisperers. An organization founded and led by ghosts. An organization that works to guide light-bearers to wield their light for good. An organization that endeavors to re-establish world order by uniting and cultivating light-bearers who are good, strong, and fair. An organization formed of ghosts who lack actual power, but are also free of worldly desires, governing light-bearers, wielders of immense strength. If power and immortality stole the kind, orderly side the warlord's humanity, then let me bring a strength and eternal slumber to their sides. Enforcer exam performance report. Okay. Umeko, on behalf of all ghosts of the Whisperers, we would like to congratulate you on passing your exam and becoming one of the Whisperers' core members. Very few operatives are even able to start a trial, for that means you have earned the recognition of every single ghost among our ranks. We know full well that trust is priceless, and we're sure you'll agree. Thus, we are delighted to have you truly stand with us as we turn our gaze towards a shared future. Your compensation and benefits will be upgraded from those of an operative to those of an enforcer. Please see the statement attached to the back of this performance report for further details. The Council of 12. Hmm. Solo combat capabilities. Outstanding. When it comes to solo combat, Omeku has always been an enforcer in all but name. I have nothing more to say here. Whitebeard. Agreed, says Marshui. Susi Sagittarius. Umeku's amazing. Kokoa. Hmm. Management of heavy ammunition needs more work. Additionally, there was an obvious mistake at 735. In the second phase, the performance could have been better at 813. Also second phase. And 302, third phase. Remember to train on your own once you review your performance report. I think you're being a little too hard on Okada. Also Moshui, Susie and Sagittarius. You three could stand to be a little less perfunctory, you know? Says Wheat. Cooperative combat capabilities. Average. The strength of Mega's attacks is inversely proportional to her ability to cooperate with teammates. But given her preference for solo missions. I don't see any issue with this. Whitebeard. Agreed. Says these guys. And Omega saying the coolest. Teamwork is indeed an obvious weakness. I also made a request to analyze whether Ayakiba can be modified to enhance the capabilities in cooperative combat. Kara. You really are something, Kara. I'm not gonna offer you three. Improvisation. Improvisation. Good. Rather strong adaptability, but becomes somewhat flustered under extreme circumstances. I look forward to seeing your growth, Whitebeard. Agreed. Moshui. Don't think I can see what you're saying just because you wrote your comment last. That means you, Wheat. Surely you don't think your comment wasn't something insightful, Susie. Okay, same thing. Same thing. Omega, Omega really is a quick-witted light bearer. I'm so jealous of you, Kala. Unlike his light's not exactly shining the brightest, if you ask me, Kokoa says. Omega's performance in a scenario that calls for attacking as a group was rather stiff. This appears to be a long-term effect caused by the events of Operation Albatross. Desensitization training for similar situations is necessary. Kara, Omega's already an excellent agent. I don't want you to push it too hard. Everyone has their strengths and weaknesses after all. As for you, Suitsi, just wait, just you wait until our next meeting. And Sagittarius, could you stop copying and pasting comments? Funny. Acting skills, average. I don't want to say it, but your crying makes me want to laugh. Umeku, please continue practicing. I'll add that other than your crying. Your acting skills are all great. Especially when you were pretending to be weak to gain others' trust. Whitebeard. Haha, Moshui says. You think I'm afraid of you, Wheat? You think I'm afraid of you, Wheat? You can't even find yourself a light bearer, Susie. Oh god. Uh, I won't copy the bit about physical attacks. You two fight amongst yourselves, says Agatarius. Oh my god, the chameleon. Love it. Oh my god, chameleon. That sobbing was beyond fake. But it can be helped. All we can do is avoid it as much as possible. If a situation calls for crying, use anger, floundering, or silence as a replacement, if appropriate. Kara. I'm glad to see you're finally not playing the role of overly strict parent, Kara. And you, Suitsi, just you wait. Mark my words. I'll find a partner capable of smashing you and your library to bits. Okay, that's the far. R00317 mission report. Our intelligence showed that the fishing village on the northwest side of the Baltic Sea had salvaged an item with peculiar characteristics. Following the preliminary evaluation, the Council of 12 determined this item could be used as a Lightbearer's relic and dispatched Enforcer Mako to retrieve it. Mission details are as follows. Pray, children of flesh and blood. Pray for the traveler's mercy. For his majesty. Pray for all the blessings and sorrows borne by this light. Sing, creatures of the secluded bay. Sing for the waves of the Baltic. For the never-ending catches. Which child of light lifted this strange object? Which ignorant fool imagined it a boon from the god of good harvest? They dedicate all the songs, all the dances to Freya, ever ignorant that light is the answer to all. But fear not, children, fear not. The light's followers shall step forth with the winds, returning all to its rightful state. They watch as she gathers her robes, listen as she delivers her listen as she delivers a gentle acknowledgement. Freya perished long ago in the collapse. The brilliant mind devoured, shall never return. Be wary of all that make use of his name. The people are panicked, yet still they cling to their doubts. Thus she wields a light, and in a faint voice she recites, "The abyss approaches. Stay ever vigilant, for the wave that drowns all draws near." Then a violent radiance flowed through the brick walls and wove through the tips of her hair, like a soul wandering through limbo. At last terror descended upon them. The lambs panicked for naught, and the rooster ceased his crowing. Yet from the mud and crevices crawled the insects, scurrying toward the light. As if pulled by forces unseen, they converged and flowed as a river through the village, from morning to night, never ceasing. No longer was the strange object a symbol of good harvest. Rather, it became bait for an evil that would consume the land. And thus the people said a new prayer, a new prayer. Deliver us from this cursed artifact. Their answer came with ring a bell, and her void light whisked the relic away. Report written by Baltic Regional Intelligence Officer, and the greatest ghost born in the Baltics, Ning George. Huh. Light bearer observations. Updating. Haven. Zev. Friendly and patient, with excellent personality. Seemingly no flaws. If you can, please be kind to her. Wolf. Will undoubtedly help you if you appear to be in need of aid, but is very quick-witted. Will notice and respond to any flaws in your act immediately. Overall, a good person. Alpheacus. Practically a floating encyclopedia, but with rigid and serious personality. He's basically a stricter version of Whitebeard. If Whitebeard actually read all those books he keeps at his residence. Fantasy novels can be an icebreaker. Ikoa, a knowledgeable scholar who seems to harbor many secrets. She tends to roam, is very vigilant, and seems to lack patience when it comes to anything troublesome. Epion, like a harsher, more nature version of Cocoa, she has full confidence in her library Yoda. Oh, and she almost unconditionally supports all of the decisions. She's not very fond of she's not very fond of Yoda's apprentices though. All that's needed to get close to a Pion is ample yet appropriate praise for Yoda. The famed Iron Champion, Yoda, possesses the chivalry of a knight, but can often be aggressive and harsh. She likes collecting shiny accessories and is a makeup enthusiast. This may be a good way to get close to her. Oh, I see. This is about the people. I see. Oh, there's a Megu. Oh, I see. I think Tethra rarely appears and seldom speaks. Needed to gather more information. Tentu often talks to himself, perhaps some sort of mental disorder. Overall, he's a passionate and kind person, like a younger version of Wolf. Although he seems easy, although he seems easily exploited, his second personality is harder to get a read on. Needs further observation. Clotha, a maverick of a ghost, likes goth and rock music. Huh, that's funny. His library Gwyn is his entire world, to the point where he prevents others from getting close to her. That's funny. Getting close to him is similar to getting close to a Pion, but your praise and adoration for Gwyn can be even more enthusiastic. Note, Carla really doesn't like him. Might be a clash of personalities. Gwyn, on an emotional level, she appears to be weaker than the average person. Fortunately, her pursuit is justice, which generally aligns with the Whisperer's goals. Best not to approach. Swift, a patient, good type of steward who seems very experienced and knowledgeable on many topics. Not an easy target to deceive. If you must deal with him in his library at all, I recommend approaching them with sincerity. Atal, a naive and immature young woman who is friendly to all. Somehow this even includes the fallen. She also shares a very close bond with Gwen. Any operations targeting Gwen may be able to exploit this. James. Most of the time, he shoulders the responsibility of translating Kimber's slightly unconventional ideas for others. Has quite the lively personality. Maybe he'd get along well with Coco. Caber, extremely passionate about making a name for himself. He's a bit of a hothead, but won't do anything to cause major harm. His legend would be effective bait. I see. Okay, that's something. And now on to Ning Fei. We got 4 out of the way. Yeah, oh man. Man, so many reading. Oh man, so many reading. Holy crap. We're already almost an hour in. We just gotta. Well, we're already an hour in. Almost. We get the 2 characters, which is surprising. Reading can be long. Record of symptoms. Started documenting the effects of a headband on my body today. May 20th. Claudia volunteered me for a request to gather supplies today. May 21st. Headband had a slight reaction to this afternoon. Felt a bit dizzy. Might have been from all the walking. Why do I have to run these stupid errands for people? I'm a light bearer, not a delivery boy. May 22nd. The reaction to the headbands seemed to be intermittent. I had 2 headaches today, one on the road and one right before a break. Both of them nearly killed me. Climbing mountains, rummage through garbage, and moving scrap metal with a headache is actual torture. May 23rd. The headband issue has been getting worse recently. I can feel the tingling even in combat. After one fight, I told Claudia the headache was so bad I couldn't walk, and you know what she said? That I was just faking it to get it out of work. I'm so pissed. She thought I was faking it. She doesn't trust me at all. I can't stand her. Yep, that's totally fair. Master of Deception Guide, Chapter 1. That's funny. All that's crossed out. The key to deception is belief. Because you have to get your targets to trust, focus, believe that everything that's happening is natural, as opposed to some plan of yours. I'll start with a simple example, the easiest of card tricks. Firstly, show your cards at a speed that makes it hard for people to process, making sure no one remembers a single card. Then, and this part is really important, the second time you shuffle through, pause for a moment on the card you want the person to pick. Note that you have to make this pause look natural. That way, they're guaranteed to pick the card. Don't ask me how to memorize the order of the cards. I won't be going over basic techniques here. Our conversation might stop here if I were teaching someone else, but as your mentor, it's my duty to give you another example. Once, I needed to run some errands without Claudia following me, so I secretly wrote my diary. My headband might cause dizziness. No one should disturb me at the time. And Claudia saw it Accidentally, of course. When she questioned me, I came up with some excuse about how I didn't want others to think I had issues or something. And after a few well-timed dizzy spells, the next time I sneak out using my doppelganger, she'll never suspect a thing. So you see, the point is to convince her that it is really happening. How dare Tentu laugh at me and call my great deceptions childish tricks? He's the child here, not me. I'm gonna finish writing this book, and we'll see his laughing then. Hair styling record. Shoulder length hair, original style, which does show my dashing looks, but blocks my vision in combat. Some people also say adjusting my hair after every battle is not manly. They know nothing about beauty. Short hair. Sometimes I do want to reveal my forehead. Lets me lets me show off more of my stunning face. After all, but shortcuts are risky, as I've heard the Libera's hair doesn't grow. In that case, if I wanted to switch it up again, I'd be stuck. Tied up. Most of the warriors in the martial arts novels I've been reading lately are portrayed in this way. I just need to tie my hair up, trim my bangs, and voila! Voila! The perfect new hairstyle. It's decided. I'll have to bubble to do it tomorrow. My new hair is stylish, and everyone notices a change in me. It's strange that everyone tells me that I must share it, that I must cherish my new hairstyle after I tell them that I spent 3 days designing it. 2 hours explaining it to 3 different hairdressers. The first two actually complained about me. They just don't get it. And 5 hours getting it done. Jeez. Of course, I'm going to cherish it. This hairstyle is so me. Claudia, why didn't you tell me Resurrections would set my hairstyle? 3 days of designing, 2 hours of explaining, and 5 hours of waiting. All wasted! I, Ning Fei, hereby pledge to listen to Claudia's advice for 3 months, or else my hairstyle will reset every time I am revived. That's funny. Self-reflection. I, Ning Fei, should not have snuck out for a drink behind Claudia's back, nor should I have gotten wasted and stayed out all night. Here's what went down. After I messaged Kaber for the 20th time complaining about how boring the drinks had been lately, he finally introduced me to something new, something strong. I followed the clues he'd provided. After walking through some dark and wet tongue low and squeezing through slum alleyways barely wide enough to stand in, I finally found a mysterious wooden door hidden in the corner of the last city. I suppose it's true what they say. Good things don't come easy, even if this place really was a pain to find. I originally expected it to be some sort of special cafe. The noises coming from behind the door weren't exactly inviting, but I kinda liked the vibe. At the time, I was wondering how I'd fake being a regular when I entered. But then this foolish man saw me and asked, "What's a kid doing here? Tell me, how's a mature librarian such as myself to tolerate such an insult? It's absurd, right?" So I did what any reasonable man would do. I waltzed right in and said I'll have to what and I said and it said I'll have what he's having. I took a sip and almost spit it out. Felt like I was drinking paint thinner. These people must have never had good drinks in their life. How else would they actually like this stuff? But that guy, he finished it in one go. The whole freaking tankard. No way, no way he wasn't challenging me. So I thought, you're on, and down the mine. I felt dizzy pretty quickly, as if I'd been struck by one of the fallen shock grenades. Not exactly a pleasant feeling. but to my surprise, he called for another round. Losing to him would be a disgrace to light bearers everywhere. So I ordered another round too. No matter how much he drank, I drink one more than him. And that's the story. I have no idea what that drink was, and alcoholism? Never heard of it. There, I said it once, and I've written it down once. Happy? I, Ning Fei, swear to never drink again. Good, because they would have messed you up. Let's see. So I got that done. And now Tao. Notes on raising Alexei kids. Field trip. I took the kids to Haven on something called a field trip today. It's a form of education I learned from some old books. In the past, schools would organize periodic trips for children, allowing them to reinforce what they learned and put it into practice while enjoying themselves, or teach them something new based on the destination. It didn't make much sense to me at first. Outings are meant to be relaxing. So why would we require the kids to reinforce what they've learned while taking part, let alone pick up new knowledge? But what happened next proved that doing so is indeed very necessary in certain circumstances. I don't understand how such lovely, sensible kids could become completely uncontrollable after stepping foot in Haven. Going forward, I should make do's and don'ts guides specific to the places we will visit. That should help them learn and practice while having fun sightseeing. But that's a matter of, but that's a matter for a later date. First and most importantly, I need to adjust my lessons based on the complaints I received today. Complaint 1. There are bite marks all over my tomatoes. I worked hard to grow those, and here I was about to let it slide if you guys just took them quietly. But taking a bite and then hanging back up? Are you trying to piss me off? Add adequate lesson. Don't touch things that don't belong to you. Complaint 2. What on earth happened? I thought I just drank a few too many and passed on the roadside. No biggie, right? So why did I wake up to find myself covered with mud and trash? Someone looking to start a fight? Cause I'll give you one. Hmm. The kids are probably trying to keep him warm and use those things as a blanket. Add adequate lesson. Not all things can be used as blankets. Complaint 3. My son told me that when he was playing ball with his friends, two fallen kids forced their way into the game. They haven't touched the ball since. Come on, they have twice as many hands as my son. Can't they just keep to themselves? Add adequate lesson. Never participate in friendly competitions when you have an unfair advantage. Complaint 36. Oh gosh. Since when the fallen kids allowed to run around Haven? Do they mean the kids ran too fast or went somewhere they shouldn't be? Or do they mean they shouldn't be in Haven to begin with? I hope it's the former. Add adequate lesson. Don't run too fast in the city. And don't enter buildings uninvited. Complaint 51. Those fallen kids scared the heck out of me. They can't just pop out of nowhere like that. Alright, I should inform the locals beforehand and give them enough time to prepare. Complaint 74. We should forbid any fallen from entering Haven, including Kavar. Dead's blowing off steam. I'll ignore this one. Okay, that's not good. More than half of the complaints were aimed at the Elixir race as a whole. Learning manners and common sense won't help with that at all. No, I've got to keep my chin up. It's already much better than it used to be, right? At the very least, I've got a clear path before me. No more blindly looking for chances to work toward peace. No one can stop me as long as I'm willing to keep trying. For love and peace. You've got us, Tal. Snow peas. I've stayed in the Yorkshire Metro long enough to have tread every corner of that frozen, blizzard-worn wasteland. I always see drifters struggling to survive, huddled inside the run-down buildings, scattered throughout the wilderness. For various reasons, they refuse to settle in the Yorkshire Metro. Death has long been an integral aspect of their lives. Walking among them, I offer whatever help I can, be it searching for supplies or fending off looters. But what I receive in return is mostly their fear and vigilance. It doesn't matter. I've come to anticipate it. The world has been plagued by despair for so long that people don't believe in kindness for kindness' sake. Though Gwen typically doesn't approve of me offering help, she accompanies me to take out looters. That's how she upheld her convictions, bringing death upon the wicked and realizing true justice. I feel she tends to go a bit overboard on the violence, but even I must admit there aren't many choices when it comes to dealing with such people. So journeying across the tundra, helping drifters and asking for nothing in return. Today we saved a family from being robbed. This wouldn't be anything noteworthy. We do this often after all, but strangely, just as we were preparing to leave, they stopped us. You could tell they lived a tough life, just by looking at them, with their sallow faces and sunken cheeks indicating a lack of food. It was a middle-aged woman, up front, with her hands hidden in her pockets. I couldn't figure out why they stopped us, but I glimpsed that Gwen had gripped her scythe. I just sighed and waited for her to make a move. Then the woman took out a handful of grilled snow peas and passed them to me. Breathing a sigh of relief, I accepted the peas and Gwen quietly released her scythe. Come to think of it, her reaction was kinda cute. Then we parted ways with them and continued our journey. Well, here's more to, here's what love to, here's to more love and peace tomorrow. Funny. Cold blue memory. Gwen is fast asleep. Looking at her like this, I always think back to our first encounter on that cold, white, and noisy winter day. When I first met her, she was heavily wounded and covered in blood. She stumbled into a building with a whole squad of soldiers chasing after her, laughing despite being a rabbit hunted by a pack of hungry wolves. I didn't think twice. I couldn't turn my back on someone so badly injured, so I broke into the building and ordered men to heal her. Waves of pursuers descended on us with even fiercer firepower. I carried her to another place to hide, but we walked right into another bombardment. Such a heavy attack made it hard to escape even with a ghost's help. But I was concerned more about the village than myself. Oh, I see. It was a peaceful place where I'd stayed for a long time. I liked the villagers, the perfectly straight birches lining the roads, the babbling brook flowing through the outskirts. And after that brutal siege, there was nothing left but rubble and embers. I asked myself over and over, was I wrong to try to save someone? If I hadn't saved her, would the village have been attacked anyway? Was I the one who brought blood, fire, and death on them? Then she opened her eyes and, fighting through the pain, rose to her feet and dragged me into the woods. She didn't say a word, and neither did I. We just silently watched as flames swept the buildings and streets. The blaze lit up her face and pierced my eyes. Why did it hurt so much? I couldn't stop the tears from falling. Had I done the wrong thing? Should I not try to save people? Should I sit by and watch them suffer? Of course not. It wasn't me who wasn't wrong. Dang. This right here. This right here was part of the story of what Gwen mentioned whenever Atara was crying. Dang. How sad. Yeah, we still have quite a bit to go. We need, we need to definitely complete 5 public events on the Red Sea Rift. Taste of Home. Use a towel to complete any activities 10 times while teamed up with Gwen. New parent. Little bridge. And a towel to team up with 8 different characters. 8 different characters respectively. Alright, so now, Yoda. First diary. Ursa Major and Ursa Minor. I arrived at Haven this afternoon and enjoyed a delicious, albeit late lunch with Scully. Luna, as we called it. It seems to be a new trend in Haven, especially popular among the younger crowd. In their opinion, fasting in the evening helps maintain their weight and health. It feels ridiculous, but also a bit infuriating. It hasn't been long since people were suffering from hunger and cold, yet some spoiled youths refuse to eat of their own will. It's unreasonable. They should be exiled to Talon or Brezov up north. A taste of involuntary hunger will make them appreciate the privilege of 3 square meals a day. After we finished on Lano, Radagast sent me a message saying he'd like to meet me at the archives. There is no prize for guessing what he wanted. Yoda, you've been reported 3 times for unauthorized oppositions just this month. Yoda, you must follow the Iron Law. Yoda, being Iron Champion doesn't excuse you from consequences for your reckless behaviors. Will we never tire of these cliches? Were it not for the expanded and really decorated archives that I hadn't had a chance to see yet, I wouldn't have wasted my time on him. To get him off my back as fast as possible, I asked Scully to come with me. She seems even more willing. She seems even more unwilling than me. The meeting ended sooner than I imagined, likely connected to how uneasy Radagast looked upon seeing us together. After several attempts to change topics with suggestions like establishing a modern poetry database, courtesy of Scully, Radagast finally gave up and left in a hurry. She sure knows how to deal with her honor lord. As we were pursuing the archives through the terminal, I stumbled upon some newly entries on ancient myths in the root directory. They were added by Angelo Maroon, that man with a fondness for Greek myths and constellations. I still remember that time on the Tisa River, when we were chopping up a stranded boat to make firewood, and he suddenly told me to look up. I tried to ignore him, but he would have none of it, and walked over to grab my head and forced my gaze upward. I punched him square in the face. Covering his bleeding nose with one hand, he laughed and pointed the other at the sky. There, hanging above the north celestial pole, shined by a star, surrounded by a dozen slightly dimmer ones. Angelo said we'd been following it for the last 2 weeks or so. It's the North Star, the brightest one in Ursa Minor, and Ursa Major lies just below it. During the long stretch of time before the last city was built, the infinite night sky was nothing but a dangerous shadow and a nest housing horrifying enemies. But now, to a rare astronomy enthusiast like Angelo, it holds another meaning. After the fall of Golden Age civilization, we lost most of the advanced technology used to observe the skies, leaving only a few optical telescopes and the most primal tool, one's own eyes. However, the collapse, the collapse also took away the light pollution, letting us observe as many stars as we had millennia ago with just the naked eye. At that time, I had no interest in these celestial bodies, let alone the ancient Greek stories surrounding them and the related gods they worshipped. But Angelo never stopped trying. Despite my disinterest, he insisted on introducing me to the constellations and the myths behind their names. I don't remember how many times I laughed at him as I asked if he actually knew the locations of those constellations he mentioned. Sometimes I thought he was just pointing at random spots in the sky. And that was his. This. That was the first time he told me his shield's namesake. He would go on to repeat it many times, but unfortunately, I never got the whole story. All I remember is that an evil queen turned the mother and the sons into bears as punishment. Oh, causing them to orbit the sky all year round, never stopping. Maybe this time I can finally remember this tragic legend in this entirety. Hmm, interesting. Novice 2. Change Yoda's appearance once. Use Yoda to complete shifting gates 10 times. Okay. Build the beast. Calamity House once. Iron Champion. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. What's the finale? We got that. We can play other characters as well. So we just got done with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 character readings. I got at least 5 left. And that's all reading. So now, while we're here, let's now focus on Ning Fei'S. We got a lot of strikes to do. So there's that. And of course, team up with Tantoon, Cable 1 time. Price of Heroics. Use Ning Fei in a shadow shipping duel. And increase his proficiency. There we go. Activities. Let's see. Casual. Let's see. Uh, let's see. Gauntlet. No. What would it be? There we go. Calamity Ops. No. Strike. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. Here we go.
Anyone up for cards after?
We should have a lot of strikes to do. We got like at least 60 more, including this one, which is a lot. But we can definitely skip through it fast. Oh boy. dead. There you go.
Peacekeeper is ready to be unleashed.
Thank you. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Oh boy.
We lost one. Watch your step.
Okay. Someone died, but we're fine. Okay. This. Let's go here. This.
Use the gun when you have a light.
Shoot the box. Shoot the box. There you go. Okay. Oh, okay. Holy crap. That was fast. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Very nice. We got that done. I'll be back. I'll go to the bathroom real quick. Be back.
It's not you, it's me. Ugh, it's so overdone. I need to work on myself first. Better. The first step toward change is always the hardest. Everything else is easy.
Why can't you use your powers to help people like other light bearers?
This is my light. I'll use it however I want. I feel like I'm being watched. Claudia, scan the area for exits.
Alright. So I got this. With that. Required everything here except for this one. Spin 10 times. What we get? And another one. Nice. Then tab.
You received some.
That.
Be sure to check it.
Okay, wait a second, something. Alright.
Looks
Let's
like
get
someone
rolling.
sent you something.
Other over here, actually. Inventory. Focus Fury. Okay. Point blank. Okay. Got that too. What about you? Glutton. Final blows made with this weapon grant 2.5% damage bonus, stacks 15 times. The effect lasts until the current stage is cleared. Okay. Interesting. Let's go to view. And you. While still thinking about it. Now this is pretty nice. Okay, that for now. So with you. You Bye. There you go. Ah, I see. Okay. Well, let's continue, eh? Let's keep it rolling. Alright.
Well, well, well. If it isn't my role model, Wolf.
Hope you'll let us know before you go solo this time.
The pit.
Looks like someone fixed it.
injury. What?
Hey, between you and me, where else can I find that strong drink from last time?
Strong drink? Don't know what you're on about.
Flow like lightning, strike like
Gosh
meat.
dang it.
Who needs a gun when you have a light?
Okay. That was not great.
I'll die on
I just
my
died at death.
And so will you.
Be sure to spend your glimmer wisely.
There you go. I'll be back. I'm gonna go to the bathroom again. Be back.
Fallen, human, cabal, what does it matter? We all know a good time when we see it. The first step toward change is always the hardest. Everything else is easy. Why do I need a plan? Tomorrow is a new day, and I don't want to ruin the uncertainty of the future by following a schedule.
Almost all light bearers can get their day organized. Why can't you, Mr. Grown-Up?
Everyone calls me a trickster, but it's not my fault they're so easily fooled.
Here we go.
Looks like someone said
Let's continue.
something.
Let us continue. And then for the journey, actually. Journey. Let's see. Let's do one more thing. Before we go to the story of Ning Fei, let's do Legacy Arc.
Glimmer says I draw first blood.
The eye of the storm open!
Looks like someone sent you something.
Alright. And now, on to the story. Let's do a qualified light bearer. According to the clues I've gotten, there are civilians last seen in the ice field. That's all I need to know. Head to Jiangxi Metro. Let's get to it.
I got you some help, by the way.
I don't need it.
Trust me, you will.
Wolf says you need help.
I know. Talk about a busybody.
So you gave the core to Jiangxi Metro in the end.
What's it to you?
I suppose you're not entirely rotten.
Glad you finally. All right, hand him over, alien scum.
Go check the devices here. There might be records left.
Alright.
Those are chips? A shame they're broken.
Things can never be easy, can they? What is all this? Hmm? What do these do?
Stop!
What's happening?
Don't touch them.
What's that?
So the Fallen did bring those people here. But why?
So, what exactly are we looking at?
A holographic recording. Unfortunately, the projector is terribly damaged. Some images won't show. I'll see if I can fix it.
Restore the holographic history.
What are the Fallen putting on their heads?
Headbands.
The material's the same. And so are the energy fluctuations. They're the same as yours, no doubt about it.
The Fallen are bringing people here to fit them with the headbands. But for what?
According to the holographic record, they went that way.
Alright, let's get to them. Let's save the civilians.
The civilians! Oh no, they're being teleported away!
Oh crap!
Haven't you already defeated that servitor?
If it's back for more, I'm happy to oblige.
Excuse me, it's back? I thought you crippled it.
It's trying to escape!
No, you don't.
Stop right there and hand over the civilian. You think you overgrown bug can stop me?
Slow like lightning, strike like me.
A cakewalk.
Go check what's left of that servitor. See if there are any clues.
A legendary bat.
It looks like a defect. A kit bashed together.
Ah,
Huh? It's an access code? Let's take it back and try.
These are my last words and my final confession. I am a scientist and also a sinner. The experiment I'm involved in requires a great deal of clinical data. Rats, rabbits, even people. But the brutality of the sensory enhancement experiment was far beyond my prediction. In order to communicate with the traveler's consciousness, we tried enhancing the subject's senses. But the pain caused by this enhancement would trigger fierce resistance. So they added a punishment function to control them with even more intense pain. However, Subject 305 never stopped resisting, no matter what he was subject to. What they were doing was too cruel. I wanted to call off the experiment, but no one else agreed. As for Subject 305, he was a sharp child. He even found a hole and led a group of his fellow subjects to escape. I helped them open the door to the exit, but they still failed. I didn't know what awaited them. All I knew was the unfortunate fate befalling me. My colleagues soon discovered that I'd helped them. I was secretly imprisoned at Jiangsu Metro and became a specimen myself, all because of this mistake. I had the honor of feeling that pain firsthand. Ironically, my question was finally answered after experiencing the experiment myself. It turns out that pain is a pheromone. The headband enhances this pheromone and uploads it into the same space of consciousness. The pain is then shared among us all, and I can't take it any longer. Farewell. I hope that, through death, I can atone.
Subject 305.
Oh
Ning Fei'S.
crap!
It's your nameplate. You.
Give me a moment.
All right. I'll
Holy
contact both
crap!
Zev, we ran into some trouble out here. I'll need your help.
Come to the bonfire. Wolf and I are here.
Experiment. Oh yes, please. Let's continue.
Looks like someone sent you something.
And now we got that done, did we? Days of being free. Alright, journey. Alright. Quest. Experiment. Let's head to bonfire, shall we?
What happened?
We found the civilians. Unfortunately, we lost them, but we got some other leads. We found out more about the headbands.
Are they the same as Ning Fei'S?
Yes, he was wearing this one when I first resurrected him.
Sounds like that thing's old school then.
Probably. The abandoned building I found Ning Fei in was certainly well past its prime. It looked to have been a research facility, but the Fallen destroyed it beyond recognition. And inside was filled with corpses. Some with headbands, some without. It was a horrendous scene. As for Ning Fei, he was wearing one of them.
What does that mean?
It means I was a test subject, a lab rat, a guinea pig. Call it what you like.
We found one of the researcher's last words back at Jiangsu Metro. As he described it, the headband is a sensory amplifier. Which means it's also a tool used to intensify pain.
What were they using these things for?
To establish communication with the traveler's consciousness. A bunch of lunatics, if you ask me.
Isn't that the speaker's gig?
Artificially creating speakers. It's insane. Maybe even heresy.
So the Fallen are picking up where they left off?
They want to make their own speaker?
I don't know, but lunacy isn't exclusive to humans.
Do you think it's actually possible?
The illusion of communication with the traveler is just a space of consciousness formed by pain. The subject's consciousness enters it when the headband's activated.
So, Ning Fei, you've been inside?
At least you're free from it now.
We can't let the Fallen turn those people into their lab rats. Where do we even begin searching for them, though?
I have an idea.
What is it?
I can find them. That space of consciousness is like a common thread, connecting us all. If I can get back in there, I can find their minds and...
No! It's too risky! There's got to be another way.
This is something only I can do. And Subject 305's already done it once, hasn't he?
But... Ning Fei?
He must have gone to search.
can't let him rush headfirst into danger. Not alone.
Then let's go provide backup.
Alright. Search for Ning Fei. Let's go.
I'm picking up energy fluctuations from Ning Fei's headband. He should be nearby. Over there. It's Ning Fei.
Headband synchronized. Experiment proceeding.
That kid! He's really going in!
Well, let's find out. Before it's too late.
Final preparations complete. Please remove the chip.
Ning Fei, stop right there! Oh, you little...
Whoa.
Jackpot. I'm in. Now to find those civilians. Hey, where are the Fallen keeping you?
It hurts.
Hey, wake up! Where have you been taken? I'm right here. But where is here? Am I really here? Are you really here? It's a waste of time.
Save me.
Tell me, where were you taken before you came here?
Space. Elevator. Bottom.
The base of the elevator shaft? That servitor's haunting the place like a ghost. Looks like it's time to get out of here.
Ning Fei! Lobster! You know!
Of course I know.
Follow me, Ning Fei. Ning Fei, are you okay?
The Fallen took their victims to the space elevator.
Zeb, call for backup. Looks like our fire team's heading in for round 2.
There's no time. Ning Fei saw the civilians in the consciousness space, which means the Fallen's experiment must be underway.
Let me go. I'll teach those aliens that our minds aren't theirs to chain up.
We can get the civilians out of there together.
Send us the coordinates once you locate them. I'll get them out safely.
All right, let's head out.
Here we go. Twice, folks. Let's save those civilians before it's too late.
Ning Fei, are you at the elevator?
Just wait for my signal.
Unbelievable.
What?
I never thought I'd see the day you risk your life to help others.
Guess all your naggings finally got to me.
Good to know your ears aren't just for show.
Scumbag!
There they are. Oh, the first group of civilians is at the entrance to the elevator shaft.
Roger that.
Ning Fei. Earlier, I noticed that the chip was...
Destroyed.
You mean... you...
It's just a stupid chip. And I couldn't connect to the others with it in place. No big deal.
You're looking more and more the part of a hero.
Ew. Knock that off.
Nice.
Do you think you have what it takes to stop me?
Wolf, the second group is in the generator room.
Be right there.
Let's continue.
You again?
Ah. Helix, the mind disruptor. You're back. And back for more, eh? Let's teach you a lesson. Oh.
Slow like lightning, strike like me.
3B. Guess you just couldn't get enough of me, huh?
Come on. We should go check on the people we rescued.
All clear in there, Ning Fei? Do you even have to ask?
The civilians are all still unconscious.
They're probably just in shock. Give them a bit and they should come to.
Well, my work here's done. See ya.
You won't let them see who saved them?
Nope. Not my kind of thing.
The chip. Alright.
Wolf sent a message. Do you want to read it?
What do they want this time?
Oh, don't be like that. It's a thank you from those people you rescued.
Why'd Wolf have to go and tell them?
How does it feel to be a hero?
Weird. I'm not cut out for that kind of stuff.
Well, regardless, you did impress me this time. It's just a pity that your chip...
It's broken. Kaput. Nothing worth dwelling on.
Do you still have it?
Yeah? What for?
I just want to see if there's a chance to fix it. After all, we
Bless
went
you.
through so much.
Here.
Ah,
Just leave it. It's no use.
but this is the last intact one.
Is that so?
Maybe there's a similar chip elsewhere. Where there's a will, there's a way. We've just got to keep looking.
Why bother?
Aren't you the one always crying for freedom?
Well, well, well. Would you look at what I've got here?
You... Where did you get this?
Did a little searching around Jiangxi's labs, and what do you know? Turns out not all the chips are busted. Fortunately, I had some alone time to search. All thanks to you.
Migraine cure. Ah. Nice. Was that all of it?
You received some mail. Be sure to check it.
It was. How nice. How nice. So we got characters. Lore. Yep, that was it. Very nice. Then diary. Very nice. Very nice. Overview. Lightning champions. Very convenient. Ah, nice. Okay, so those do it as well. Like that, like that. We still have those to do for me to do off screen.
Your light must be honed. Don't let it waste away.
Quests. Look at that. Among wolves. Let's see. Let's do another run on the legendary campaign. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up.
Your friends are fighting hard. Don't leave them behind.
Small characters. Who are you two again? And then we'll end the episode for today on Destiny Rising. nice. Nice. Okay. Nice. 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 I aimed incorrectly, but the void killed them. How convenient. Dang it. That's fine. Oh, I missed. That's annoying. Oh, baby. Holy moly. What? What? What?
A legendary bout. But my victory was inevitable.
Okay. Nice. Very nice. There we go. That will end for today's episode from there. And that was pretty nice. And, sure. We got that done. Like that. Oh, yes. Yes, please. So we have done quite some stuff today that was rather proactive. We have gone through half of the stories for now so far on our characters. Progressed to Ning Fei'S story and got it done. Without even having to complete everything required that I thought we needed to progress through the story. Because it looks like the quests are first standalone from anything else. Which I will say I did kind of look over it, and I still thought that would still be the same. Reaching them is very different, and that is convenient. And we still have 7 left to do, but I have a feeling that we'll be able to get through it nice and nicely. Among wolves, we might be able to get through. We might be able to get through. Because if you look at their character, if I can check,
If an ideal is easy to achieve,
so for her, we got those left to do. We got Among Wolves, that, and that, and that. So 4 quests left for her. And we still progress to quite a bit of a diary too. All because we did some side quests of our own things and other stuff. And we need to basically get more cats, give some cats to complete her diary, and she's good to go. So many things to look forward to. Many things to look into. Ooh, that's interesting. How convenient. And of course, just more stuff. But next episode, we will continue the same thing. Continuing. Completing our characters' diaries by getting the challenges done needed on each, so that way we can at least complete our characters' stuff on our end. And that'll be glorious. Next episode, we will return to that. And of course, back in 30th of the war, we continue our war against every enemy we know possible. The periodic line of the spears, glaives, and the sword and board will be ready to knock back at our foes of any race, whether it's the Dunedain, the Angmalim, the elves, the dwarves, or any others. They will face our wrath together as a great King Mazog will rule all followers of Melkor. This is the Man Dorman here, and I'll see you next time, back on the list of the war, to continue our our conquest, for eternal domination of Middle-earth. Peace out.